Hello, Maximus here with another replay. This time I'm bringing a fully stacked Lusitani army against a Roman army. And the Lusitani build I'm using is fairly standard. You can see it there and pause it at the beginning if you want to have a closer look. Now this map is kind of funky because of these small clusters of houses that potentially makes it easier to funnel troops in and protect flanks, and it makes it so that an attacker needs to go around here, but what I'm just going to do here is send my cavalry around and take the engagement here on the open field, because I want to rush this Roman player. He has 3 auxiliary Syrian archers and they can really chew up my guys. He also has these Evocati cohorts, which means that my skirmishing is going to be less effective than it would be against units with poorer shields and poorer armor. Now these guys I'm just going to send around to be a nuisance, basically, and potentially some rear charges once the engagement gets going. I have 4 Lusitani nobles up front, and they are the main killers of this army. I have 2 units of Scutari spearmen on the flanks, and I don't know what my opponent is thinking here, getting this close to my guys. They can all throw javelins, so I'm sending out my Scutari cavalry, and then I'm going to have my Scutari spearmen throw some javelins, which kills the Praetorian cav, and these guys are going to be able to catch, since they are faster and lighter, they are medium. They are going to be able to catch up this Praetorian cavalry, get a charge, and they are just going to continue to run and get chipped at here, which is a terrible use of Praetorian cavalry. Now I'm bringing my Iberian slingers up here to shoot at his auxiliary Syrian archers. The maneuvering of my Roman opponent here is not the best in the world, and so I realize this and decide I'm going to capitalize on it. Over here, his Praetorian cav is getting smashed by these Scutari. They're getting some help by legionary cavalry, but I'm not too worried since I have Scutari spearmen coming in to help. Over here I'm just continuing to shoot at his guys passing, but since my opponent is in a terrible position here, I figure I'm just going to rush him with all these swords. Over here his Praetorian has got another fresh unit of Praetorian cavalry coming in, but they are going to get charged by my Scutari and my general, so they are going to lose some guys here. And here this legionary cavalry is going down quite nicely. I think he forgot about this unit. I'm just keeping these guys here to kind of box in my opponent. And now the auxiliary Syrian archers have just started firing, and you can see they are getting some kills, but it's just too late. So my opponent has just formed up, and you can see I'm giving orders for a general advance here. His legionary cavalry is going down. His Praetorian cavalry already lost 13 guys. They are winded, so not too worried about them. Cantabrian cavalry moving over here to shoot at this legionary cavalry. And now I'm just going to attack the enemy army at an angle here, and you can see how fast these Iberian swords are going down to the auxiliary Syrian archers, but they are taking damage as well, and my Lusitani nobles will do quite well against these Evocati. I'm charging them in long thin lines here, and you can see their kills are rising pretty fast. I don't think I forgot to use headhunt on them, which is nice to do on the charge. And he is using, well, he's using Race Banner, I think it was, on his general there. Lusitani nobles against 2 Evocati got a nice charge, so they are holding their own. And here he is. I don't know why he didn't charge here. He's, instead of charging, he's putting his guys into Testudo, which will defend quite well, but all these missiles coming in are still going to kill. Look at this. They're just making pin cushions out of these Romans, so he really should push up here and try to spread out his guys to limit the casualties. And over here I was able to catch his Praetorians. My flank is secure here. He didn't really have anything over there, so now I'm just going to gang up on this Praetorian cavalry. And as you can see, now he's realizing that he can't just stand there, and look at my Iberian swords just getting massacred. They really have no armor, and they have the worst shield in the game. So while they can do some damage, they really can't take it. But now these Evocati are getting hammered by javelins, so they are losing hit points. My Lusitani nobles are... these guys didn't get a good charge off, so they are losing. Over here, his auxiliary infantry is losing massively to these Lusitani nobles, of course. Syrian archers are racking up the kills, but I have a nice round going on my opponent here. But I can by no means get complacent, because I have fragile units. And now I'm shooting at the rear on these Evocati, and even though they go into Testudo, they are being shot in the rear, so they are dying quite nicely, and they are surrounded. So here these Lusitani nobles are killing Evocati quite nicely, these guys are as well. As you can see, Evocati cohort are quite good, even against a unit that costs almost twice as much as they do. They are able to stand up for quite some time. Evocati cohort, I'm just letting them charge now, so they present their backs to me. And this Scutari cavalry is wrapping up this fight. This Scutari cavalry is attacking here and being supported by these guys. My general is chasing away the Syrian archers, and now Rome basically is done for. These guys, I think it looks like he forgot about them, because they are just being hammered from the rear by these Iberians. And my slingers are... they're not the best slingers, they are actually some of the worst slingers in the game, but when left alone like this and able to fire for an entire game, they can do some damage. Now it's just the final mopping up of the Roman swine. Evocati cohort are being surrounded and summarily destroyed. These auxiliary Syrian archers are being caught by my Cantabrians, and that is game. So my opponent had a decent build, I guess. He had a cavalry advantage, and he could have done some major damage with his archers, but I was able to force the engagement and surround him, and got a close victory. But let's look at the kills here. I don't think that was too close, but here you can see the Syrian archers. If they were left alone and I didn't deal with them, it would be really ugly. But his Praetorian cavalry didn't get any kills, so that's pretty bad, and the Evocati didn't do too well either. My my Lusitani nobles, they got a nice number of kills, but the main difference here is I was managed to get kills on nearly all my units, so they were at least able to do something, and they were able to play to their strengths. So I lost 750 guys, which means that, and he killed 689. That means that 10% of my kills were 10% of my losses were to friendly fire. But I guess that's an acceptable number. I had a numerical superiority, and I really like playing with the Lusitani. They are kind of a glass cannon in this patch. They hit hard, they can fight, but when hit with missiles, they just crumble and die. So if my opponent made a defensive line here, spread out his Evocati, protected his auxiliary instead of just basically wasting all his cavalry, this battle could have ended a lot differently. But I have yet to lose with the Lusitani, so it seems like people are finding them a bit difficult to deal with when played very aggressively. But thanks for watching, and see you again.